Welcome to another 4G Visual Team Builder demonstration. In this one, we will look at how 4G and the Visual Team Builder can provide valuable information to venture or growth capital investors when assessing the potential of a management team. In this demonstration, we will see how the predictive elements of 4G provide information on areas of team dynamics that have until now been impossible to measure in any systematic fashion. So let's get started. GrowCo is a technology startup looking for a first round of financing. We have 4 people in our management team. There are 2 co-founders, Tom Franks and Jane Turner. They're joined by Mark Elliott, who's looking after the sales function, and Jim Stevenson, who will work with Mark on sales and marketing. In this hypothetical example, we know that all the individuals have a strong track record of working in high growth situations. CVs have been checked and references taken. In the case of GrowCo, we have 2 co-founders. Starting with Tom, from his profile we can see that he is drawn towards identifying new opportunities and ideas. The summary profile information also tells us that he likes to be at the cutting edge of new developments. From her profile, Jane is also someone who is open to new ideas and is analytical in approach. She is also adept at juggling multiple projects and enjoys being in positions of responsibility and influence. It would seem that Tom and Jane share complementary skills and approaches. Now we can get much more detailed profile information in the social profile section here. Now it can also be said that from their profiles, the 2 people responsible for the commercial issues, Mark and Jim, are also well suited to their roles. So, at first glance it would seem that in addition to having strong CVs and the relevant experience, from a personality or psychological perspective, each of the team members are well capable and have experience of delivering in their roles. However, as we're about to see, things are not as straightforward as they first appear. When individuals are linked together in the Visual Team Builder, we get colour-coded lines to indicate the amount of effort required to make each relationship productive. There is a key down here. The green lines require little effort, through to red lines which require the most effort. The Social Relationship menu provides us with more detailed insight into the interpersonal dynamics between team members. For example, the relationship between the 2 co-founders is always going to come under close scrutiny, and in this case we have a red line between Tom and Jane. In this instance we have a relationship of interpretation. The key characteristic of this relationship is that both parties are attracted to similar activities. However, despite shared interests, effective communication requires considerable effort on the part of both individuals, and this can cause poor communication and diminish productivity. Now, does this mean that they can't work together? Not necessarily. What it does mean is that over time both Tom and Jane will have to put significant effort into the relationship. Because of the contrasting approaches, there is a potential for disagreement, stress and diminishing productivity. By highlighting any potential issues or problems at this stage, it becomes much easier to monitor and take any preemptive action prior to any problems actually impacting performance. Bearing in mind the importance of the relationships and communication between investors and management, we can also use 4G to help understand how these relationships will develop. In this example, we have 2 partners from our investor, Jackpot Ventures, Jürgen and Sarah. Now we can use the exact same process to understand how each partner will form relationships with team members, like this. As you can see, Jürgen and Sarah will experience differing relationships with each of the team members at GrowCo. For example, Jürgen will experience a relatively easier working relationship with Jane than Sarah would. On the other hand, Sarah's relationship with Tom is likely to be more instantly productive and communication will be easier. The often complex relationship between investors and the management team is a particularly interesting topic, not something we have time to go into detail here. However, understanding how an investor is likely to view and interact with the management team can help provide a clearer, more neutral perspective and means of understanding and communicating with that team. Bear in mind that 4G works equally well in situations where you have more than one investor. Above all, in practical terms, 4G shows the most effective way for an investor to manage their communication and collaboration with the management team. By following the practical tips, relationships are optimised and the quality of communication maximised. There is much more to understanding a management team than CV checking and assessing individuals in isolation. It is also vital to understand the often complex series of relationships that actually determine whether a group of individuals can achieve strong and productive collaboration and the situation that will best support this outcome. With 4G and the Visual Team Builder, this information is now within easy reach.